a few confessions to make tonight. Um, I will confess that I am a really touchy-feely person. So if you know me, you've probably been touched by me. I will greet you with a hug and a kiss. If you sit next to me at the dining room table over a meal and we're talking, I will reach out and touch you on the leg, on the arm throughout the meal. If we're talking and you're sharing a story and you get emotional, I'll get up and I'll come over and I'll give you a hug. That's who I am. And I realized as I was preparing for this talk that I think that's just a part of humanity. We need physical touch. But personally, I think that I touch other people a lot because I want to be touched by others. I want to have physical contact. It's important to me. It's a sign of love. It's a sign of compassion to me. It's a sign that I care about you. Touch can be healing. Touch can be so many things. But during COVID, as we all know, it's been really hard to find ways to touch one another, to have that physical contact. And that's been a challenge. I have another confession. I am also a runner. And I say that as a confession because it's kind of an addiction. If any of you are runners, I'm a 50-year-old middle-aged woman whose body has issues and I still run. So there's an addictive part of it. And it's important because I think during COVID, I kind of upped my game a little bit to the point where I started having issues. I started limping by the end of the day, almost every day, because my right hip was giving me a lot of problems. And because of COVID, I wouldn't go to physical therapy. We've all been really careful in my family. I live with my husband and two teenagers, and we believe we could kill someone else if we give them COVID. And so we're very, very careful. So I will not go to PT, to physical therapy. But I have a number of friends who are physicians and who are nurses, and they have convinced me about 4 weeks ago that it's probably safe, that there are physical therapists who are seeing people and they're taking all the protection, and it's really okay, Malinda, you're limping, you probably should go get it checked out. So I called our physical therapist and made an appointment, this dude in Lancaster, and I go in and I'm like, I have these issues. I'm so like open, you know, I have pain in my hip. I'm a middle-aged woman. I'm going through perimenopause. I have pains. I have hormonal insomnia. Like, there's a list of things. I have a talar bunion on the outside of my foot. And he's like, okay, let's start with your hip. And he starts pulling and prodding and testing and twisting and pushing and touching me. He's touching me. He's touching my hips. He's touching my arms. He's touching my legs. He's pulling my hip. At one point, he was massaging the front part of my spine through my abdomen because I was having pain here in my abdomen. And his conclusion in all of this is, Malinda, you have a weakness. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, literally, I run 5 miles a day. I do 200 crunches or sit-ups a day. I was like, no, you're not telling me I'm weak. And he's like, seriously, you have a weakness. You have a lack of control, and there are weaknesses in your abdomen, and this is what you need to do. And it was great. So for a couple of weeks, I was meeting with him once a week, and he gave me these exercises, and I'm very disciplined of doing the exercises. And I was really discouraged. The first 3 weeks, there was nothing. And then just last week, I was like, oh, I can walk without pain, like for the first time. I ran this weekend without pain for the first time. And I was like almost in tears because I think running is for me, it's part of my spiritual practices. You know, it's me in the woods alone to breathe and remember my humanity. You know, when we can't see one another, at least I can be with the trees and I can listen to the birds. And so I can get out in the woods again without pain. And I'm grateful. But I realized that next time there's a global pandemic, I have determined that I will sure as hell find an injury and get to a physical therapist much sooner in the year, just so I can have that human contact, because he touched me everywhere. And it was so nice to be touched.